Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I'm the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. All right, and we roll. We're down here at the lab at 6-0 Football Academy. I'm in my office. Just got done with a great meeting with Agent Dwayne Terrence. I'm really excited about the future. We got some announcements for you down the road there. But today's a hell of a show. My brother Phil Lindsay's on the show today from 104.3 The Fan. Obviously, the heart of the Colorado Buffaloes, great Denver Bronco, all-pro Pro Bowl running back. For the Denver Broncos, back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher. Everybody knows Phil Lindsay. It's a bad motherfucker, and he's on the show today. My man Bailey's on the ones and the twos. As always, we're going to pay some bills and get this bitch rolling on, what is it? We just like to hump day, right? It's Wednesday, hump day.
Great one.
We got a big game tomorrow night against Overland, Mount Vista Overland. We're going to whip that ass. It's wartime on Overland. And then, a hell of a weekend coming up for football. So let's get rolling, B.
No doubt. This show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest to pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker. Unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Big Matt, huge day. We got great guests. I can't on this Wednesday. Special Wednesday. Let's go ahead and start. Let's get right into it. Former Denver Broncos running back, Colorado alum. This guy's a Colorado guy through and through. We're gonna preview the UCF game with Colorado, talk Denver Broncos and Bo Nix and much more. But let's go ahead and bring him in. Phillip Lindsay, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
How the hell are you? Man, look good.
Doing,
Looks like you can still step on a bitch.
Hey, you know what? I'm still trying to stay shape. Waiting for the call. Nah,
Waiting for the call.
I still try to just stay in shape, man. Honestly, just after retiring from football, just trying to find myself in what I really want to do. After this is all done, and now it's all done, so it's like I'm doing the radio, having fun with that. What kind of excites me or keeps me going, because I don't have a coach telling me, hey, I need to go lift now. So I need to just I find ways to just keep me active and stuff, man. By the way, Matt, hey man, Overland's gonna have to handle that business. My family's over there.
Over my ass, I know. Doesn't your uncle coach there?
He does, man. This is his first year. He's rebuilding over there. So yeah, man.
Yeah, we've been studying him on tape, but Mount Vista is pretty good. So I'm really excited for Thursday night. I'm excited to see the least. We have Valor next week, so
okay.
We got to make sure we go out and play well Thursday night. We're not looking forward to the big dog on next Friday. So
it's a build-up.
Yeah, but I'll definitely have to give some love to your uncle when I see him on Thursday night, bro. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Bailey. I'm going to let you roll through this. The first thing I want to talk about though is the UNLV kid, because I got to get Phil's perspective on this right off the bat.
Yeah, let's dive right into this. So Matthew Sluka, UNLV quarterback, appears to have, or I'll read it. I have decided to utilize my redshirt year and will not be playing any additional games this season. He's been starting, and they're 3-0 or 4-0 now. I committed to UNLV based on certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for the continued success of the program. It appears that this is some sort of botched NIL deal or something. There's multiple reports on this, but Phil, Matt, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Go first.
Man, you knew once you opened that Pandora box, okay, of paying these young kids money and promising them money, that if something wasn't fulfilled, right, where it's like, hey, I'm going to give you $200,000, you get there because of it, and you're not seeing the money, you knew these kids were going to start acting up. All right, now, do I like it? No, I don't, but I understand it. All right, if I was a kid, and I was one of them that I wish I could have got paid to play the sport I love in college, right? And so for this kid to be able to say, you know what, I'm done because you guys didn't fulfill your side of the deal, it sucks. I mean, the teammates have to feel bad about it, honestly. But the on the team side, they got to fulfill that deal. I don't know, Matt. What you thinking on this situation?
Bro, I'm torn. I literally just got done meeting with Dwayne Terrence, who's a very prominent agent. We're talking about all these 6-0 guys that are up for draft and all these NIL deals with all these college guys and setting up conference calls and like how to manage all this. And I'm hearing a couple different things. Carl Reed, who I respect the shit out of, I talked to him about this morning, then talking to Dwayne, that they both told me that he was promised something, didn't get it, and then they're 4-0, they're ranked, he's killing it, but he's old, he's like 25, 26, so like this is his opportunity to get paid, and it's not. It didn't come. Like UNLV essentially backed out or told him they weren't going to pay him.
Yeah,
this is essentially like a college football holdout. This is the first ever college football holdout, and he's going to use his red shirt. The football player inside of me hates it.
Yeah,
I hate it. Like if I was on his offensive line, or if I was playing defense and he was our quarterback, I would be furious, because now you're taking away an opportunity to have a great season. But the businessman inside of me is like, well, this is what the NCAA and everybody wanted. You're not going to put any rules and restrictions on the kids. You're not going to have any legislative, way to move forward with certain things. You're not going to have, like a standard operating contract where each kid is signing something where they have to do certain things in order to get paid, so you can guarantee it. From what I can gather about all this, a lot of the NIL shit is bullshit. It's all smoke and hot air. It's handshake promises, and handshake promises don't work in the real world. So these kids, like, the reason I'm meeting with Dwayne is because we're going to work together. Like, I want my guys represented correctly, especially going to the NFL, but now in college, you've got to have the right people in your corner to kind of guide you on these things. And honestly, this kid shouldn't be having this conversation with them anyway. His agent should be having this conversation with them. So I don't like it, but I also understand what's happening.
for sure.
And honestly, if this gets him his money, if all of a sudden UNLV steps to the plate and gives him what he was owed, and then all of a sudden he's not redshirting and he's starting this weekend, then cool. But if not, you've got a 27-year-old or however old he is, he's old, 26, 27-year-old guy going onto his red shirt. What school's going to want him next year after this?
Yeah, you know what, Matt? I think a lot of schools would honestly want him after this, because he's that older quarterback that can just, be plugged in and has seen a lot of football. And I think for a lot of these programs now, you're looking for a quick fix. You're looking for somebody that you can just plug in and play, especially at the quarterback position. I don't think like finding a school is going to be the issue. I think it's like, how much money are you willing to give this young man, knowing, what you've seen of him so far? Do you think that UNLV is going to get something done with this kid? It's crazy that we're talking about this like this is the NFL.
No, I don't think I think UNLV will stand pat, because if they pay him, it sets a precedent, and you're going to see every kid in the country say, I want more. I'm not playing unless you give me more. So either one of the sides going to win. Look, I'm not going to lie, Phil. Right when I saw this, I was like, well, shit, we need a quarterback next year. Our guy's about to go in the first round. So can we get this dude to Boulder? Like, that's just the business that it is. So I think that this has the kind of like precedent when you're looking at it from an overall perspective to set the market moving forward. Like this could lead to unionization. This could lead to everybody you have to have an agent.
Yes.
Like you can go into it blind and try an handshake deal, but you better have somebody representing you. Like all the parents and the players I talk to, they get really uptight when I say, well, the NIL cooperative we're working with is going to take 5-10%. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, you want to try and do it by yourself? Like you want to go try marketing yourself and doing all this shit by yourself when you don't know how to do it? You don't have the social media presence, so on and so forth. So there's so much value in having people in your corner that are going to fight for you, because you know this, Phil, man, trying to get a contract out of an NFL team when you've done the work, and you know this more than anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, not to bring up shitty stuff, but they wouldn't pick fucking Melvin Gordon over you, which is the dumbest mistake in Bronco history. Like, you know what it's like to produce and not get paid.
Oh, yeah.
You know that feeling. So now in college, if you have the opportunity and you're producing your ass off and they don't pay you, I don't know how I can get really mad. I don't really like it from a football perspective, but the business trumps football now. This is what college football is.
No, yeah. And this is why I'm confused of why, like, if you're going to open the gates to this NIL and start paying these kids, why wouldn't it be more structured with contracts? All right. Why wouldn't it be something like, hey, we're going to sign a contract to protect us, to protect you, and make sure things are done the right way? I think that's something down the future that's getting ready to start happening to help these young men out. And also, Matt, what about a union, right? Because you have the NFL has the NFLPA,
Yep.
and for some stuff like that, what's up, buddy? For some things like that, it's like it helps you out because you have somebody that's supposedly having your back. Now you understand, with the union and the NFLPA, I don't know how much they help out at times. But
it's wishy-washy.
Exactly, right? But I think that now that you have these young kids that are in situations where you're getting paid money to do these things and you don't really know what's going on or how to approach a situation, they should come up with a union for these young college kids.
And then look, that is going to force, I think if they do unionize, it forces the NCAA out. And it forces the Power 4, Power 5 conferences, if the Pac-12 ends up being one, to the table again. And they're going to have to negotiate TV contracts, all that kind of shit. Like that's really the thing is, I've said this so many times, all right? And then we'll move off this topic, but I got to get your opinion on this, Phil, because I know you love playing college football, dog.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. The NFL was a straight business. I loved it, but it sucked.
Yeah.
Like the college football, that's the jam.
It is organic.
Could you imagine in 2016 or in 2004 when we're making a run at the conference, we're playing in the title game. In 2016, when you guys are making a run at the conference and playing in the title game, can you imagine walking up to your teammates and saying, yo, we're all going to strike. We're not going to play. Can you imagine if Georgia and Alabama just went out this weekend and sat down together and locked arms and said, yo, we're not playing this weekend until we get a cut of the CBS revenue?
Oh, it's
not like if they're doing this, if this player's doing this now, what is stopping every college football player in the country from getting a cut of the real money, which is the beer commercials, the Pfizer commercials, the TV contract? All that is really where the dough's at. And the players are the commodity, not I know coaches run college football, but you could give me Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Vince Lombardi, and Bill Walsh and Mike Shanahan all in the same coach, and I give you a bunch of bankers, and you're going to go 0-12. So let's be real, dog. That is a fact. So what's keeping everybody from just fucking saying we're not playing anymore until you actually break us off the way we're supposed to be paid?
Nothing is keeping these players from doing it other than themselves right now, and just the knowledge of understanding how much power they have. And when they
what leader needs to step up? Do we look? And I'll say it right now. You know who the leaders are in college football that would need to do this to make it happen? Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
the Travis Hunters, the Shador Sanders, I know some of the Georgia players, anybody that has this platform and that's going in the first round, if they step up and do something like that, for sure,
You know how much
and it's only
money
a
they
matter
would
of time,
lose,
guys.
dog?
You
Can you imagine if like CU and UCF didn't play, they just sat there? You know how much money they would lose?
Exactly. And that's what they're hoping. That's what behind the scenes, for the college football, the people that's running this whole situation, the organization of it, they're hoping that it doesn't get like that. But it's going to, because somewhere down the line, a union is going to be created, a union to protect these young kids, because they don't know. I mean, hell, Matt, they don't even understand taxes yet. I think these young men are getting all this money.
They don't have anybody in their corner telling them what to do and not to do.
No. I mean, I didn't know about it until I got to the NFL.
It's a slippery slope, bro. Look, I don't know where this is going to go, but this is a monumental day. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. So
are you okay in the grand scheme of things? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, I have to be, bro. In the business I'm in, Phil, you know this, bro. You've worked with me in the past. In the business I'm in the business of helping the player maximize himself. My best years playing were my 5 years at CU. I wish I could have monetized that. We played in 3 Big 12 title games and, always on national TV and all this revenue for the school for a stipend check. Like, it's cool because I didn't know the difference. But now that these kids have the opportunity to swing the hammer, I don't know how many times I've said in my life, but when you have the hammer, you better swing that son bitch, because you're not going to get it very many times as a football player.
Yes. Well, see, I'm glad that I got to talk to you guys about that, because the football player, like you said earlier, the football player in me was like, man, why would you do that to your teammates? Like, this is all about football. But when you start to really understand that they don't care about you and all they care about is what you do on that football field and the abilities you have to offer, bring to the table, you have to do what's best for you and your family. And so for this young man saying, you know what, I have an opportunity, a platform in a way out right now where it's like, I can redshirt. Why would I not utilize that, right? There are many of my teammates, all right, that I'll give you an example. Devin Ross from when we were in Colorado, right?
Receiver,
exactly. He got to play right away. And I got to redshirt. And Bryce Bobo got to redshirt. And George Frazier got to redshirt. And we all had a blast, right? Well, these other young men like Chidobe Awuzie, Sefo Luafau, they all had to play right away while we got to have fun, right? And so I think the next year, Devin Ross was like, you know what? I didn't get to have that college experience and just grow and just develop. And so he used that redshirt year, his second year in college, because he had the opportunity. Now, you put it in this young man's hands who's at UNLV, the quarterback. It's like, you guys promised me all this money. I'm producing. I'm not seeing anything. You think that you're going to sweep this, under the rug, and I have a way out by redshirting. I like what the young man's doing, man.
Yeah, he's holding them to the fire. We'll see how it works out. But, bro, this is a crazy day in college sports.
It is.
Like every day is. So this is just one more log to throw on the crazy-ass fire that is college football. So let that son of a bitch burn, and let's see how it goes. Bailey, what's next?
Man, let's get into it, man. So I wanted to obviously touch on the UCF game. Before we do, what a freaking game last weekend. I just want to get your thoughts on the Hail Mary, or not. It's not even really a Hail Mary, but just this play. Travis Hunter obviously stepped up and won the game, forced the fumble. But what were your thoughts of the game last weekend versus Baylor?
Well, first of all, what's considered a Hail Mary then? You know what I mean? Like, my man.
We had Westbrook on yesterday, and he was like, "It's not even really a Hail Mary because it looks like a more controlled play." And I was like, both answers are correct.
Well, okay, even like with the miracle, right? The miracle that happened first with Colorado with Cordell Stewart, like it. I don't think people understand. Like, you practice these plays, right? It's end of game plays. It's like a 1% chance of it working, but you still practice it. So as long as it's the last play of the game and you're throwing it up and somebody has to come down with it, I feel like that's a Hail Mary. And it was
it's definitely a Hail Mary, bro. This is some lucky shit. I mean, let's be real. I was at the game and I was sitting there like, well, we're fucked. And then I was like, wait, whoa, my God.
Man, like, it was a 1% chance of it working out, right? And if, it was in our favor. The Folsom Magic was there, which I kept telling people, and people called me crazy. But, man,
it's real.
You know.
It's real. It's
Come
real.
on, man. But everybody called me crazy for it. You
Folsom
know,
Magic Trail. There's something about that place where just shit goes our way sometimes. And look, it's been a long time. You played on a great 10-win team,
yeah,
obviously, but other than the 2016 team, there's been a lot of like
down.
build up and disappointment. And
Yeah.
and look, what do you think about the 3-1 Buffs right now, just sitting where they are before Bailey starts asking us questions about UCF?
You know what, man? I feel
You
like
can be as honest as you want on this show.
sure,
I tear them up all the time.
No, I think the Colorado Buffaloes are getting better every single week, right? You're dealing with a team that had 44 different players. All right. Now, this is where I feel like there's a couple things that I feel like Coach Prime went wrong with at the beginning of all this. When he first got here and he said, hey, I'm building it from the outside in, I knew it was going to be rough because, Matt, it's all about the trenches. We all know that. It's the heart and soul of the team is the offensive defensive line. And if you have them, you're going to win some games just because of them up front. Yes. All right. I think Coach Prime learned last year that, hey, I can't build from the outside in and win. I got to build from the inside out. And I think he did a better job this year. All right. Now, for him, now it's like you brought in 44 different players. And I'm all about culture, right? I don't know about other players, other coaches, but that camaraderie, that building together, that being with each other. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the 2016 team was so successful. We all stuck together, right? We all stuck together. We went and took our ass whoopings, though, right? And, Matt, you know that. We were taking butt whoopings 2014, 15. It started to click. We were older. We were juniors and seniors. We've seen it all. We've been through the fire, and we were able to come out on the other side because we said, we've been here, we've done that, and we know how to win. Right. And you have to learn how to win in certain situations. So when Coach Prime said that at the beginning, I was like, oh, man, you're going to struggle at the beginning because it's 44 different personalities and they don't know each other. They don't trust each other. They don't look to the left and right of them and say, hey, I know you have my back. I could have done that in 2016. I knew. I looked to the left and right, and somebody was going to have my back, and somebody was going to be there to pick me up, and somebody was going to be there to help me out. So they're building on the fly, right? They're building this camaraderie. They're building this brotherhood as they play. And that's why I think that they're progressing every single week. It's frustrating watching the games when you see Shedeur get sacked 7 times. All right. 9, you know what I mean? But also I understand that, like, being an offensive lineman, and Matt, you know this, it's very hard to do.
That's
very hard to do. Right. And when you start to put in team scheming and doing games and stunts, and these offensive linemen are young and haven't been together and don't know each other, it's hard to pick up the blitzes and the type of schemes. And so this is where, for Coach Prime, it's like, look, this is why you have to have a team that's together, especially an offensive line. And that was the difference between Nebraska. Nebraska's line has been together for a long time, and you could tell how they were picking things up, how they were moving down the field. Like, it's just an older group that understands what they need to do. I like where the Colorado Buffaloes are at right now. I think they are getting better. But is there a lot of improvement that they need to do? Oh, a ton of improvement on the offensive line.
Every day and every week, my brother. Exactly. That's the only way they can do it.
The running game, needs to get better. All right. But also they got to run the football. They got to stick with it. Even when it's getting 2 yards, it just helps you out. It brings the defense in. It brings everybody up, and it just keeps them honest so that you have the shots downfield. So, yeah, I mean, and I love their defense, man. I love what Robert Livingston's doing.
Real, bro.
Yeah.
That defense is mean.
They're aggressive. Like I said, they're learning each other. Like they're coming together. They bend, but they don't break. And so, like, they're moving in the right direction, man. I just need to see more, just more rhythm. I would like to see it from the offense with the weapons they have as a receiving crew.
Well, weren't you in Denver with Pat?
I was, man.
Yeah. So give me, look, I never played for Pat Schumer, but I think he's doing a better job of game planning and being more open to running the ball and different schemes. He knows he's got an elite player in Shedeur and Travis and Wester and Horn. I think he understands the advantage he has on pretty much everyone in that regard. Give me your opinion of Schumer after playing for him.
Yeah. So, as you know, right, Pat Shermer isn't the most likable coach in the NFL. Right? You can talk to Saquon, you could talk to Odell Beckham, you could talk to Jerry Jeudy, and I think the biggest thing I would say with Pat Shermer is the creativity. It's just not there, man. It's never been there when it came to the NFL level, and I think he got so stuck in Pat's mindset is it's my offense, it's my scheme, anybody can run it. Instead of saying, let's put everybody in the best situation possible and build through their strengths and put them in a way where it's like, all right, Phil, you're fast, you're explosive. You put a couple pullers on you. That's what we're going to do with you. Not, hey, Phil, let's run up the middle and you're 180 pounds, right? Or all right, Melvin, you're 220 pounds, but we're going to run outside zone with you all day, right? That to me, when I was there with Pat, I felt like Pat wasn't understanding that just because you have a scheme doesn't mean it fits all of us. And it's like, as a coach, you have to find ways to make your players look good at times by putting them in the right situations. And so with Pat now, I think that he's opened his mind, opened his eyes because he's dealing with college kids and dealing with a situation where it's like, okay, like I have to redo things. I can't just do it the traditional way. The one thing I wish Pat would do a little bit more, Matt, is be creative in the run game. I think that like the pull.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot.
You know what I mean? Like help
they
us.
don't run counter. There's not a lot of power. There's not a lot of trap.
No.
Like I'd be running trap like a motherfucker.
Come on, man.
We throw the ball so much.
And exactly, right? And another thing is like Pat Shermer has never been the coach that like loves to pass the ball a lot. And so like it's new for him to just say, hey, let's drop back and pass 40 times a game. Because when Pat was with us, it was more traditional, get eye formation, play action, kind of outside zone, a couple dives, and get the receivers open. So I think for Pat, he's learning on the fly too with a quarterback like Shador. Like, what can I do with him? My time with Pat wasn't all that great. That was kind of my downfall because I had the 2 good years, and then when Pat came in, he got rid of my fullback, Andy. And that's kind of what hit the fan, right?
Yeah.
It was like, all right, dude, you got rid of my guy that I felt comfortable with. And now you're just telling us like we need to run a scheme, and even if it doesn't work, it doesn't fit. It's the players, it's not the scheme, right? That's kind of where me and Pat started to kind of not see eye to eye. And
so look, I think he's doing a good job of changing on the fly. They ran the ball 42 times at Baylor. It was not all of it was pretty, but again, it doesn't need to be pretty at times. You just need to keep doing it. So I'd imagine that UCF, they're going to run the shit out of the ball. Bailey, let's get you back in here and start asking these questions about UCF so we can get Phil out of here on time.
Let's go ahead and talk UCF. Let's go ahead and preview this game. So Phil, what are your thoughts of this game? What are Colorado's keys to victory against UCF? What do they got to do to really shut them down? I know it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, KJ Jefferson, not the best passer, but he's athletic. He can run we had trouble stopping quarterback run last week. Obviously, they're going to run that a lot, and they're going to run the shit out of the ball. What are your thoughts of this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to start up front. Offensive, defensive line. Can you control the trenches? All right, let's start with the defense. For defense, Robert Livingston's going to have to put the heat on UCF. But also, the players are going to need to be aggressive. They're going to have to get downhill. All right, they're going to have to create a couple turnovers. And it can't just be Travis Hunter, right? We need a couple sacks now. Right, it's time to get a couple sacks on the board. Yeah. And just definitely understand that you have to account for not just the running back, but the quarterback as well. And so making sure that you keep that in mind, that you need to stay home, you need to stay disciplined because that quarterback can run. All right, force them to pass. They want to run. That's all they want to do. They want to shove it down your throat. So it's like force them to pass, force them to get out their comfort zone and do something that they're not used to doing. For the offense, all right, they got to get some rhythm. And it starts by continuing to run the football. And Matt, like you said, even if it's just 2 yards, 3 yards, it's keeping the defense honest, all right, and being able to take shots when it's there. I love, all right, and when it came to Denver, I love what Denver did as well. When you get to the red zone, all right, do your RPO game. That helped out because nobody's expecting Shador to run the football. But when you're able to do RPO, that run pass option, you give that quarterback a three-way option. The quarterback can run, quarterback can hand it off, or the quarterback can do a quick throw. That helps you in the red zone. It just makes you more effective as a football team. So Colorado's going to need to be able to do that in the red zone and just be a little bit more creative with the run game. And if they can do that, all right, get some rhythm going. I think that the game's gonna flow, and people have this as a 14-point spread, which I'm
15, dog.
Oh, is it 15 now?
15 points.
Keeps
We're
going up.
15-point underdogs.
So what's good? Like obviously, like the high rollers are betting on this game.
Like we're gonna get ran out of the building.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe it's because it's in Florida, and maybe because of like the time change, and because of what UCF is doing in the run game. But UCF's run game is skewed by who they've been playing. New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Hampshire? You know what I mean? Sam Houston State. I mean,
and fucking TCU. TCU just gave up 6 points.
Yep.
TCU, but yet like the Buffaloes are a 15-point underdog.
It's a slap in the face, bro. 100%. And I agree with you. Like same question, I'm sure at me, Bailey.
Go ahead.
Look. I think that the defense is going to come ready to play. There's a bunch of transfer guys from down south in Florida. They're going to be walking into their element. It's not like they're a bunch of snow bunnies walking down there, into the Florida heat. I played in Tallahassee at Florida State in 2003, and it's real. There ain't no joke. So, it's going to be hot, but again, I think we'll acclimate to it fine. We're going down there early to avoid all the weather. The weather could be a huge issue. It could be no issue. So we'll see how all that goes. But the defense being able to control the line of scrimmage and make KJ Jefferson one-dimensional is going to be huge. And then, look, letting Shador do what he does is the main point for the offense, and that is directly related to the defense. Because if they are smart at UCF, they're going to try and control time of possession, and not turn the ball over. And that's the way you keep Shador off the field. So the defense has got to win first down. If you put UCF and KJ Jefferson in 2nd and 9, 3rd and 7, that is going to be a lot of 3 and outs. Right now, they convert the shit out of 3rd downs because they're all 3rd and 2. But again, they haven't played anyone, and they should have lost to TCU on the road. They missed that field goal at the end. Arguably, we should have lost to Baylor at home. We threw a Hail Mary and won in overtime. So there's a lot of – I think that this is a very obvious game of we don't know much about both of these teams, so we're just going to think that CU is going to struggle on the road because they still – I think the bettors and the public still thinks that this team is the same team as last year. And defense travels, Phil. You know this. Defense travels, dog. And those guys are going to go down there fucking mad. And our secondary is elite. And I think that defensively we have an edge that people are not accommodating for, in my opinion.
I love it. I love it. One other thing that I would love to see from the Colorado Buffaloes offense that I seen literally the first game of the year last year versus TCU, the quick game. Just getting the ball out of Shador's hands fast at the beginning just to kind of control things, right?
Yeah.
Just get it out because it just settles everybody down. It settles your offensive line down. It helps get the ball into your playmakers' hands faster. And I just feel like Shador's, holding onto the ball too long because they have these design plays to get these receivers open for these big time throws. Just start with the quick game, get things going, get some rhythm, and then it's going to open up your long game towards the end, man. But I would love to see Shador just get the ball out of his hands like he did in TCU, man.
So a couple more from my man Bailey, and then we'll get you out of here, Phil. You can hear Phil every afternoon on 104.3 The Fan. He does a great job with Zach By. You guys are killing it. And then, all-time great buff in Denver Broncos. So really appreciate you coming on the show, Pete.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you joining. This is an honor for me. But wanted to ask you another question. Colorado's running back room. Your thoughts? Obviously, we've seen the looks from the freshman Welch. We've seen Hayden Offerdahl. And what are your just thoughts of that running back room?
It's a work in progress, and it's hard to evaluate them because they haven't had the opportunity just to run the ball multiple times, right? We finally got to see it versus CSU, and they put together a really good game, right? They were running hard, they were breaking tackles. I would love to see Pat Shurmur help them out by being creative.
Yeah.
All right, get some pullers in front of these young kids. Let them have the opportunity to break one tackle, not three. All right, let them get in the open field. Utilize them in the screen game. That's what I want to see from this unit. I think they have a talented unit. I mean, guys, when you look around what they had last year with the young man that went to Kansas State and the other young running back that went to Oregon State and what they're doing, the Colorado's bringing in talent. It's just about putting them in the right situations to be successful. And that's what Pat Shurmur needs to do with the running game by being creative. All right, getting these pullers, getting these offensive linemen firing out, doing things to help the running backs out. And then the running backs, I will have a better evaluation on them once that happens.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Matt and I have been talking about creativity in the Colorado's run game for weeks now. We've been looking for it. And
I mean, it's different too. The Broncos are the same way, man. I mean, they're just lining up and running a dive.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things. And Matt, maybe I'm wrong, but like,
no, dude, I being a defensive lineman first and moving to offense in the NFL, I was lucky to have Bill Callahan as my first coach, and there's no one more diligent or detailed. And he changes shit every week. We'd be running zone one week, stretch zone.
Yes.
The next week we'd be running gap scheme power. The next week we'd be running spread trap and like outside gator pitches and shit. So I am of the belief system in the run game that the more looks we can give the defense, the better.
Even
so
right?
I think that they are graduating into this though. Like I've seen tackle pulls last week. They're getting guys out in space. So I think it's, again, young offensive line from a perspective. There's some veterans on there, but again, Zelinka's a sophomore. Seaton's a true freshman.
Yep.
The other three guys are transfers. They're all gelling together. Sometimes, and a lot of the time in football, you need your ass whipped a little bit to really mature and focus and do things right. So the Nebraska game was humbling for all of us, and we got better. The Baylor game was very humbling for the special teams, which we're not even going to talk about because I don't have a fucking clue what we're going to do there. But the offensive line was humbled big time, gave up 9 sacks and struggled. But then at the end of the game, they also came together and made plays to win. So you've got to be able to, I saw Loadhold afterwards in the hallway before we left, and he was super pumped that they won. But he was like, "Look, we got a lot of shit to work on," and that's the guy you want working on it because he's doing a really good job. Yeah. So I think that there's so much room for growth. The people underestimating this team, and I've done it in the past. Everyone's done it. Well, I can't help but be critical of something I love. I think that the growth I'm seeing, both from the defensive perspective, thinking about think about this. How good did the defense make you guys in 2016 going against Tedrick and Tudera and KO and Jimmy Gilbert and Tupo? I mean, fuck, man, if you didn't show up to practice correctly, you just get your ass whipped.
Matt, let's be real. The reason why we were able to win 10 games was because of the defense.
Facts.
Right? Defense wins championships. And when you have an elite defense, like we had in 2016, where everybody almost went to the NFL on the defensive side of the football.
I gotta go potty.
Okay, go potty, buddy. It makes it a little easier to do things, right? You have more opportunities as an offense because the field's not flipping on you, or they get a turnover, and now you have another chance to get another touchdown or get ahead with a field goal. Like defense, I can't stress enough how important defense is. In 2016, I wish I was on that defense with them.
They were nasty.
Watching them. Like they made it look so easy, made it look so fun. They loved each other.
I forgot about Witherspoon shit, and I forgot about he just got broken off the page. So yeah,
you had Akello, Witherspoon, Chiobel,
Tedrick, Tudera,
Oliver, Tudera,
Isaiah Oliver. Shit, he's the whole damn fucking secondary got drafted.
Josh Tupo. Like, I mean, you just had so much talent that stuck together, and that's why it's like this team is getting better because they haven't been around each other, and now they're starting to figure each other out. Yeah. And now you're going to start seeing them have more faith, have more trust in each other, and they're going to be able to start making these plays. And everybody wants to make plays because guess what? All of them want to try to go to the NFL. You don't want to just Travis Hunter eating. That's what I used to do, right? I'm seeing Cheeto on the defense. He's eating. I'm like, well, screw that. I'm trying to go to
eat
the NFL too.
I'm here to hunt.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be the only one getting talked about at school.
Goddamn right.
I want to put it on my back. And I would tell
Right,
that.
so,
You know what I mean?
Two more questions, Bailey, and we'll get Phil out of here, and then we'll finish the show up.
Yeah, last question for me. Denver Broncos.
Last question, Phil.
Right.
Last question for me. Denver Broncos went down to Tampa and took care of business, and quite an upset to some people. What are your thoughts of this game and Denver's performance?
Man, Denver had a great game plan. I love that they came out, and I'm not the craziest fan of just passing, but that's what they did, and they were aggressive with it, right? Bo got in rhythm. You got to see Bo kind of make decisions and see like the maturity in Bo. They had a great game plan. Sean had a great game plan in himself. He was aggressive when he needed to. And, their backs were against the wall. And everybody knows you go 0-3 in this league. It's hard to come back. It's hard to go make a playoff. And I think they all had that same mindset that we need to win this game. Defense has been playing great, right? They've been stout. Zach Allen
is balling, dog.
Balling. You know what I mean? Cooper's coming around and he's doing some good things. I like Nick Bonito bounce back because I think he had a bad game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And I said last Friday, you know who we need to see? We need to see more of Brendan Jones. Now, he was my teammate in Miami, so I'm holding him more accountable. But Brandon finally showed up, and you guys got to see that ability, right? That's something that Justice Simmons was doing last year. Brandon Jones can do it this year. He's aggressive, and he's younger. So it was just all around. Okay, special teams has been good for Denver. They just played a well-rounded game, and Bo looked a lot calmer, a lot confident, and he's using his legs. And RPO game, right? Sean did a great job of sprinkling that in, and I keep saying that. In the red zone, 3rd and 1, RPO, give him that run-pass option.
Yeah, they were calling Bo Nix Vanilla Vic.
Now, I don't know about all that now, but he has more athletic ability than people thought.
Yeah, he can get it. Look at his ass running here.
That's what I'm saying.
Now slide. Get your ass down.
If you look at that video, he has that confidence when he gets up. You know, he's like, first down, you love to see it.
Bitch.
You love to see that. You need to have your quarterback with some confidence.
You better have some fucking swag.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right, brother. Hey, nothing but love to you and your family. I'm so proud of you and everything you're doing, homie. We'll definitely get up to Boulder here soon.
Yeah.
Just, again, 104.3 The Fan every afternoon. The heart of the Colorado Buffaloes and the Denver Broncos. Phil Lindsay, thank you, dog.
Thank you, man. K-State, bro.
You know it. Peace.
Hey, honored, man. That was a hell of a show.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker, that kid right awesome. There. Hey, so check this one out. Every day we get one.
Day I saw it.
I love y'all, man. You can adopt me whenever you want. I'm so tired of all these oyster motherfuckers around here.
It says, "Hey, Dad, guess who is coming to dinner? Matt McChesney. No worries. He's a black man in a white suit. Welcome to the family, my brother. Great content.
I love you guys too. I'm in. Gotta get some greens and you just some of them. Oh my god, the Brussels sprouts with the fucking honey and bacon on it. So look. I'm reading the comments as we're going through this, and it sounds eerily familiar to when I went on Whitlock. Like, Buffalo fans, what is wrong with y'all? Again, are you just a fan of Prime, or are you a fan of CU? Are you blind? Do you not see the areas of concern that we're talking about? Why is it okay for me to constructively criticize the Colorado Buffaloes, but not Phil Lindsay? I mean, you have to understand there's a difference between loving something so blindly that you'll let your wife get cucked, which some of you will do, and loving something so much that you will stand up and fight someone that wants to cuck your wife. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So there's a huge difference here. I'm going to constructively criticize Colorado until the day I die. So will Phil. Yep. So will Bobby Pesavento. Yep. So will Mark Johnson and Coach Barnett. So will people that were around this place and built it way before Coach Prime got here. He rebuilt this place. He didn't build it. Mm-hmm. So I love Coach Prime and the Sanders family. It's the best thing that's ever happened to Colorado. Ever. Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback that's ever walked through the doors. No offense to Cordell and Mike Machete and Coy Detmer and John Hessler and Joel Klatt and Pesavino and everybody else, but Shador's the guy. Travis Hunter's about to win the Heisman. They were 1-11, getting beat by 70 fucking points the day before they got, or the year before they got prime. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting into the fucking meetings with Klatt and Jeremy Bloom on conference calls with Rick George and everybody 3 weeks before they hired him saying, do not go for average. Don't go for comfort. Don't hire Bronco Mendenhall. Go for greatness. Hire Coach Prime. Mm-hmm. And then they did that shit. I was on the phone with his assistant, Ray, 3 weeks before he got hired. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand that just because, and this is the other thing, every time I constructively criticize or coach online and I put something out there, who's the first one to respond to me and say, wow, you're right. We should probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always. Yeah. So I could give a Tiffany fuck what any of the fanboys think. And I know damn well Phil Lindsay doesn't care. So you can either embrace the real Buffaloes and we can all fold into this together, or you can show your ignorance and you can show your tribalism and you can show your ridiculous narrativism about all of this by just supporting one man and one narrative, because we're all in black and gold. He's the head coach of the University of Colorado. Shador plays quarterback at Colorado. Travis Hunter plays everything at Colorado. Mm-hmm. We're all together in this. Yeah. If the offensive line doesn't play better and they don't run the ball more, we're going to lose games we shouldn't lose. If the special teams doesn't come together and we can't figure out how to kick the ball out of the end zone or cover kicks or whatever the case may be, we're going to lose games we shouldn't.
True.
So again, when Shador Sanders doesn't have to do everything, he can do anything. And I'm just waiting for everything to gel. And all I see is improvement. Mm-hmm. Even though they got slaughtered up front against Baylor, last year's team would have lost that game 38-10.
Yeah.
But they went in at halftime, made adjustments, fought their dick off until the game was over. Last play of the game, pull it out, and then win in overtime. That is heart and character. It's not just two guys. Mm-hmm. So all Phil wants is what's best for CU. It's amazing to me how many of you guys in the comments, look, we have just as much support. We love all the support, and we expect it. But it's just, it's almost telling to me that you would go negative after somebody like Phil Lindsay, who literally is the beating heart of that motherfucking place.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody other than me that loves it more than him. And Hannibal and Mike and everything. We all kind of love it. We're all a little fucking crazy, but that's okay. That's why you love us, because we love it. So, look, man, we're not always going to agree with each other. I'm not a fanboy. That's my family. And you're not, sometimes when family needs to hear something they need to hear to get better, it ain't going to be nice and sugar-coated. It's not going to be a fucking Chicago backhand. It's actually going to be some fucking sandpaper dildo action, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to bust out the sandpaper and fucking get to work so we can fix shit rather than sugarcoat stuff, because somebody's motherfucking feelings might get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone in the comments. So, oh my God, have him talk about when he talks shit about Coach Prime. Dog, come on. Come on.
Yeah, be better.
What are you talking about, homie? Who gives a shit? Do you think that they're not criticizing Tyler Brown for struggling last week? Do you think they're not criticizing Seton for jumping off sides 4 times? I watched Coach Prime yesterday stop practice, yell at everyone's ass, and start practice over again. You think they're worried about everyone's fucking feelings, or do they want to win? So, everyone in the chat that has a problem with Phil's opinion, fuck your feelings, dog. We're trying to win.
Amen.
This isn't called feelings ball. It's called goddamn football. And I am crazy. I'm crazy for victory. And I'm crazy for excellence. And I'm up at 4 a.m. every day in the fucking lab with the next generation, crazy for manifestation of fucking big goals that you motherfuckers couldn't even dream of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy for fucking Pornhub and Cheeto covered fucking fingers sitting in a basement typing away on a computer, criticizing those in the arena.
Yeah.
In the arena, dog. This is what we do. So anybody that's played knows you're going to lose. How do you respond? Yeah. No one's ever been undefeated. How do you respond? Fucking Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year at Alabama. Response. He seems to believe in Coach Prime. Is Nick Saban wrong? Do you think Nick Saban, when he talks to Coach Prime, just says they're doing a great job when they're not? Or do you think he says, hey, because if I had that relationship, I'd be calling Nick every fucking Monday. Like, what'd you think? And I can almost guarantee you it happens. And Tuesday, maybe if we get Coach Prime on the roundtable, I'll ask him that question. How much do you utilize the relationship with Nick Saban? Because I know damn well I utilize the relationship with every goddamn coach I know. I just had an hour-long meeting with my man Dwayne Terrence, who's a very prominent agent, utilizing that relationship. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me. Yeah, dog, JB is a hater. You are correct. Whatever your fucking name is, you are correct. He is a hater, but you know what he also is? An expert.
Yeah.
He also is a bona fide coach that develops fucking big-time talent that has an attitude problem, obviously, but who doesn't? If you don't have an attitude problem, you're a fucking sheep pushover, and you're just one of the people pointing at everybody else saying you got an attitude problem, which makes you a bitch. So, and if you just got offended about that, I'm directly talking to your ass. I ain't talking to anybody else. If you're offended, I'm talking to you. So, like, JB's played the position, coached the position, built fucking programs. He's a hater, of course. I think his fucking opinions about all this shit is ridiculous, but that doesn't mean I can tell him he's wrong. Yeah. All I can do is disagree with him and try and kill him with facts and fucking make him sound dumb in his narrative. And one of these days it'll either work or it won't. And I don't have any control over that. You know who does? Coach Prime, Shador, and Travis, and the offensive line and the special teams, and go to UCF and win by 15. And the bye week will be awesome because Coach JB will have to shut the fuck up. So if you don't want people talking shit about you at the University of Colorado and you don't want things said about you that are disrespectful and you don't want to be criticized, maybe we should beat the fuck out of everyone and fucking play to our standard and understand that the pride and tradition of the Colorado Buffaloes will never be entrusted to the timid or the motherfucking weak. So again, are we going to lock the gates on UCF on their own field, or are we going to go down there and play timid, half-ass football because we won against Baylor? Practice yesterday seemed like they were playing timid, half-ass football because they won against Baylor. And Coach Prime shut that shit down and started practice over. If you can find that video, that would be fucking awesome. I don't know if you can. But, I mean, you are the man. Bailey does everything that's required, and I guarantee you he finds the video. If I said I need you to find a video from 1998 and Jenna Jameson getting banged by fucking the goddamn cast of The Wizard of Oz, you could find that shit.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, look at this. Watch this, guys, and tell me if it seems like Coach Prime's playing feelings ball like so many of you want us to play, or if we're playing football, which requires constructive criticism, hardcore coaching, and somebody's feelings to probably get stepped on.
I might have to re-download this. It's going to take a second. But all right. No, but so basically, yeah. So I watched this on Well Off Media. They were halfway through the dang practice thing there, and Coach Prime brought him over, and he's like, "You guys, are playing like you guys dominated last week. Start the whole practice over." That's what he said. Hold on.
What? Okay, so again, is me constructively criticizing my team and I can't go sing the fight song? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, dog? Like, yeah, I'll sing the fight song right now, dumb fuck. Like, hold on. We can't sit here and cover up the wounds. We can't put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. We have to suture it and fix it and move forward. How do you fucking people not understand this? Why do you think we're being negative towards Colorado and Coach Prime when we're simply saying that they gave up 9 motherfucking sacks and Shador was running for his life? If Shador wasn't Shador, we would have lost that game 45-10. So don't sit here and fucking act like there's a problem, or don't act like there's not a problem. I mean, give me a fucking break. Are you this blind? There's no way you're this uneducated as a football fan.
All I think he was saying was I think he noticed that they were singing the fight song after the game. But yes, I mean, I'm with you on that. Here's the video of Coach
Did
Prime.
I just totally read that wrong?
Maybe kind of.
Okay, well, my bad. My
I think
bad.
it was just pointing out that they're saying.
See, now Bailey's constructively criticizing me and saying, "Dick, it wasn't even the right guy." Sorry, I just yelled.
All he said was, "Yo, man, I don't know if I was hearing right, but I heard them sing the fight song locker room after the game."
Yeah,
Yes,
they sang. I apologize. That was fucked up. My bad. I can admit when I was wrong, and I was. But I will say this: they sang the country club version really, really well. The country club version of the fight song is awesome. I'll sing it in the stadium, but the country club version is not the real version. And hopefully one day they'll let me sing the real version with everyone. But again, everyone has to get behind it. I'm not going to sing it by myself. You can't chant something by yourself. Then you just sound like a psycho.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll take a look at Coach Prime restarting practice yesterday.
We got blessed with the outcome of the game. We really got blessed. You guys out here like you dominated. When are you gonna want this for you? Not for me, for you, for your family, for your siblings. When are you gonna want it?
My nuts
Start the whole darn practice over. On the ball, 10.
They fucking around this week, Matt. What do you?
I am sensitive. So are my balls.
Oh man. Well, Matt, actually,
but isn't that good? Don't you want?
Yeah, I love it.
Ass,
you got to keep them uncomfortable.
Instead of hey everyone, we did so good the other night. We're not going to practice today. Everyone just go post. Thank you. Love you. No one's feelings got hurt today. It's a success. Blue ribbons for everyone. Shut the fuck up.
Unicorns, dog. No, I'm with that. I'm with you on that. I love it. I love it from Prime. I love it. I think you gotta keep them uncomfortable. Hey, you guys. He said it. He's like, you playing like you acting like you dominated. So I love to see that. I love it. Last thing before we get out of here. This is actually a really good topic. It's ironic that Matthew Sluka, him doing all this with the NIL deal happens when I show this video today. But Shiloh and Shador talking about people hating on NIL deals are the same. The people that are hating on the NIL deals are the same people that preach to have them. Just take a listen here.
Yeah, compensation. So the thing about it is all right, everybody fights so hard to get NIL. Now we have it. Now everybody want to hate on it, right?
Yeah, you can't fight. You can't ask to get paid, and then when people get paid and you hate on each other, that don't. Right. That just don't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
What are your thoughts?
It doesn't make sense. Look. Do I have a problem with the guys quitting on his team? I don't know if it's necessarily quitting. It's a business decision. A lot of people don't understand it because they've never been in a position where they have to leverage their job in order to get paid more. Mm-hmm. I have. It's not fun. It's not something you want to do, but playing football for free sucks. So now that you can get paid, you pay for free. So I agree totally with both of the Sanders brothers. And to be completely honest with you, I don't see how you can't. Let me ask you, is Shador good enough to get paid millions of dollars and drive a Rolls Royce? Mm-hmm. So because you don't make that money, you can't play like him, and you don't have a Rolls Royce, he's an asshole? No, that's not the way this works, dog. This is America. This isn't Russia. I was just going to say, this is America. This is America, homie. I'm sorry that I could get paid for my talent that you don't have. And you can admire it, but hating on it just makes you sound like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Should rock stars not get paid for rocking the house? I can't rock the house. Mm-hmm. I pay for the ticket and go stand there, and I'm like, how the fuck are they doing this? This is incredible. I don't get mad at fucking. I went and saw Incubus 2 weeks ago. I didn't get mad at fucking Incubus for kicking ass. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up that I can't play the bass. What? So, it's just they deserve to be paid. They should be paid. The coaches are all getting fucking paid. Mm-hmm. Everyone's getting paid but the players. So, I said it to Phil earlier, and you better cut that vertical because it'll go. That's something that needs to be talked about. Mm-hmm. Dog, if I was in charge, I would tell everybody to strike. And I'm going to say it right now. Strike. Don't play. Don't stop playing football. Mm-hmm. every big game, every game this weekend. Just go sit there. Go walk out in your pads and sit the fuck down and lock arms and say, until we get TV money and full insurance and benefits, and until we're treated like employees of the university or however you want to fucking do it, we ain't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And have fun watching all the walk-ons and the bankers play. That'll sell out.
Right.
So again, sometimes you got to swing the fucking hammer when you hold it. And right now the players are holding the hammer. And it doesn't feel good, does it, when the rabbit's got the gun? So, it's the hypocrisy is my problem. Like, you can criticize something. You can have a different opinion one day. You don't have to just ride. You don't have to sit. Like, you don't have to be a fucking, like a crazy fuck and just have the same fucking narrative your whole life about everything. That's not the way life works. New facts are presented. New opinions are presented. It makes you think. You can change the way you think easily. I don't have a problem with that. But I am saying that the standard and the foundation now in college football is NIL's a real thing, and there's a lot of money for the players available. And I think there's a lot of players that are still being underpaid. Everyone on the roster should be making six figures. Everyone. Do you know how much fucking money these people make?
Yeah.
So again, if you have a problem with all this shit, maybe you should stop watching and stop supporting it.
That's the other thing. I mean, it's
Just
ironic.
stop watching.
If
you don't like it,
go watch on a Saturday.
If you don't like college football and the way it's headed, then stop going to the game. Stop buying fucking Sprites and beers. Stop buying hot dogs. Stop buying merch. Stop supporting the school. Don't go to the fucking games. Stop watching the NFL and just go crawl into a fucking cave and like become a tennis fan or some shit. I don't fucking know. But if you don't like the way it's going, you don't have to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Man, hell of a show, Matt. Hell of a show. Wednesday's show. I wanted to actually bring this up. This Darren Jennings said, anybody know about the guard from LSU? I'm guessing talking about
Cardell Thomas. So I've worked with Cardell in the past. He's been in the gym many times. Actually, Dwayne Terrence, the agent I just met with, represents Cardell and helped him get to CU. Mm-hmm. Cardell needs to play. Mm-hmm. Like they need to give this big son bitch a chance. I saw him after the game Saturday, gave him a big hug. I'm glad he's there, but they need to give this. He is one country son bitch too. He's out farming and shit. Like when they called him, he's out like herding buffalo and shit, which is fitting. So he's a great kid. He works his ass off, and he's a brick shit house, bro. Like he puts his hands on you, and his hands don't come off of you. It's just like he just grips you up. So I'd love to see Cardell play, but again, I do trust Coach Lodeholt a lot, and I really think that he's got things moving in the right direction. Even if they struggled, you can still move in the right direction and get your ass kicked every now and then. In fact, it might help you move in the right direction. Sometimes getting kicked in the ass puts you like forward, not backwards. You have to understand that. There's so many people that think losing is a bad thing. I prefer to look at it as learning.
Yeah, it is learning.
So if you lose and you immediately start thinking like a loser, you're a fucking loser. But if you lose and go, why did I lose? And then you change the behavior or you change the pattern, then all of a sudden you just overcame that.
Yep.
So again, it's so you've got to stop thinking about it like, oh, they gave up 9 sacks and all these hits. They suck. No, they sucked. Now they have the opportunity to get better from it. If they don't, then there's the loser mentality, and we got to fix that. But if they do, then we learned something real quick and got better. So I watched them lose at Nebraska and learn.
Yeah,
I watched them almost lose against Baylor. Are they going to learn from it? Practice yesterday had to get restarted. Hopefully they learned from that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of lessons in football that need to be taught. And I really wish that all y'all, because I guarantee you most of the dudes in this chat probably played high school football. Just try and remember back to like before you convinced everybody that you were an All-American and coach fucked you over and that's why you didn't play and you were the best player in school history and all this other crazy shit that you've convinced yourself of that you tell your fucking wife at 2 a.m. and she's like, yeah, you're 40 now. Move the fuck on. Like all that shit that's going on in your head. Just try and remember what it was like when you were a scrub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Hey, last 5 minutes. Let's just go ahead and take some questions from anybody watching. Drop them in the chat. 800 people in here. Go ahead and become a member of the Dungeon family today. We've gotten a couple new members. We appreciate you. Troy says, Matt, can see you make the college football playoff with 2 losses.
No.
I highly fucking doubt it. They're in the Big 12.
Not in the Big 12. Unless they win the Big 12.
Yeah, that's the only
if they have 2 losses in the regular season and then go to the Big 12 title game and beat undefeated Utah, then they'll get 2 people in.
Yeah.
Then CU will be the 4 seed and Utah will be the 10 seed or some shit as an at-large because they're 1 loss within the Big 12 title game. Team in.
Yeah.
And I would imagine it's going to be like 1 loss or undefeated Utah looking at it right now. Although BYU looks pretty good, but I don't trust anything in pro. If you wear all fucking gray underwear all the time, I don't trust it.
There you have it. Yeah, I'm with Matt on that one. Let's see here. What else we got? Cole Whitty. What's this about me?
Actually, there was a good one here. Actually, I saw, if I can find it again.
Here,
this one. If you are a dominant lineman and the film shows it, but you suck at film, do you think you should play? No. If you're a dominant lineman, look, if you're the left tackle and all I have to do is say block the best defensive end and we're just going to slide away from you, if you're and that's cool, then I guess you can play. But if you're one of the other 4 positions and you don't understand scheme and what they're doing and how they're doing it, why the fronts they're running are so important. I put a video out this morning at 5 a.m. I'll send it to Bailey and we'll put it on the members only page so you can go watch it. Yep. But all we're doing is talking about little logistical things that are going on in the front and the scheme and the protection that if you don't know as an offensive lineman, you can't play. Mm-hmm. You can't fucking play. Defense is 1 gap, go kick someone's ass, chase the ball, and be ferocious. You know, like sometimes the linebackers and safety have to make adjustments, but usually it's reactive position. And if you really study tape well and you understand offensive football, you can be proactive. But in most regards on the offensive line, if you don't know what's going on, you better be a bad motherfucker. You better be Orlando Pace.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, look, Garrett Bowles was, for all of his struggles, he's gotten a lot better for the Broncos, right? But when he started out, his like mental capacity for the game just wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And you could tell because he didn't have the experience. He wasn't like calloused enough. Now, as he's gone through his progression and gotten better, and a lot of that is Mike Munchak when he was here, mm-hmm. helping him figure it out, and he's turned into a fucking Pro Bowler. So yeah. It's just it sometimes it takes longer for other guys, but I don't really think it's that difficult. And I'm a born defensive lineman, and D linemen are dumb as fuck. I mean, Dexter Manley couldn't fucking read, and he had 150 sacks.
Yeah, there you have it. What else we got? Matt, do you think Shedeur and Travis will go in the top 5 in the draft next year?
I think that Shedeur is going to go 1 or 2. Or excuse me, I think Travis is going to go 1 or 2. I think Shedeur will go in the top 12.
Man, that's crazy. I remember I said that to you. I said Travis will go ahead of Shedeur, and you're like, nah, he's a quarterback. You flip that?
I think that Travis is going to go number 1 because you're getting 2 all-pro players.
He is unfucking believable, man.
I just think that with Shedeur, so much of it's going to be perspective and opinion of the teams. I think it would almost benefit Shedeur to go later in the draft because he goes to a better team rather than going to like the Giants or the fucking Panthers.
Yeah.
Although the Red Rocket looked really good, and Malik Neighbors looks like fuck, what do I know? So we'll see. I think Shedeur is going to be the first quarterback off the board, but I also think that this is going to be a very heavy like defensive line draft, offensive line draft, and you got the Will Johnson kid at Michigan who's going top 5, Travis Hunter's going top 5. That's 2 of the 5 spots right there gone. So we'll see what happens with the other 3.
This is a question from a member, Coach Chuck. He says, Shades model. You need a Shades deal. That's facts. If you,
I agree.
Companies out there, get at Matt. Email Matt. Go to Matt's website, 60strength.com. Get at us. Yeah, we do need a Shades deal.
Well, shit, Bailey gets paid on every advertisement too. So maybe Bailey should pick up the phone and call some Shades companies and find me some Shades.
Yeah. Hey man.
And does everyone understand why I wear sunglasses and why I wore fucking
I don't think
visor? I wore a dark visor my entire fucking career.
I don't think 70% of the people understand why.
Okay.
Really.
So I'm blind in my left eye.
Yep.
I was born like this. I can't see shit. Okay. I have extreme light sensitivity because of it. And the pressure on the right eye all the time it's a lot. So plus concussions and head trauma and spinal fusion and everything else. I get headaches really bad. There's a fucking huge light above me. It's bright outside. Why wouldn't I wear sunglasses? So again, I'm not just wearing sunglasses because I like it. I know I look good and you don't, and that sucks. But the man bun too at 43, I know you guys hate that. It's just because you can't take it down in the middle of coitus and just go like this. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he looks like a fat Fabio. Just because you can't fat Fabio it, that's not my fucking problem.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm sexier than you are and older, so figure it out, dog. You got to look, when you're a 300-pound personal trainer, that says something. I must be really good at my job. People walk in and they're like, can I get nutrition advice? And I'm like, no. Can't help you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's called eat protein, fat boy. Let's go.
This is a funny question. Ironic of today. Thoughts on Sluka as a transfer portal option for CU next year? What are your thoughts, honestly?
Yeah, we're gonna need. Well, look, I really like Stat. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think 16 is good. I like the Proctor kid, 22. That
Yeah.
kid's a fucking animal.
Yeah, a lot of
He's huge, dog. He's like 6'5", 230. He's big as fuck. I don't know why we're not repping him at tight end, dog. For real. Like, I'd be putting his big ass out there, but can you run a 9 route? Let's see.
So Smalls, literally. Yeah.
I'm not saying no, but I also shit, man. We've got the 2 of the top 5 highest NIL earners in all of college football. So if homeboy wants to get paid, maybe he should submit his film.
No,
that's the thing. Like, I know Baylor wore shirts that said we pay players, but the University of Colorado gets guys fucking paid.
Yeah.
Paid. I don't want to hear shit about NIL collectives and they're broke and blah, blah, blah. Paid, dog. Coach Prime alone can just pick up the phone and be like, California Almonds, pay this man. Charlie Offerdahl, you want a deal? Pay this man. Oh, we're going to fucking KFC it? Pay this man. Oh, a Gatorade commercial. Pay this man. And Coach Prime is the NIL collective, dummies. He doesn't need an NIL collective. It'd be nice, but he don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, Matt, let's go ahead and close it out. Great show on this fine Wednesday. We're honored to have Phillip Lindsay on the show. I mean, that was unbelievable. He's great. Great in breakdowns. Talk Denver Broncos. We talk Colorado, UCF, and much more. Matt, final thoughts on today's show before we close out here.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. Get over the hump today, and it's all downhill. I'm excited about tomorrow night. We play Mount Vista plays Overland, and it's going to be a kick-ass game. And then nice little 3-day weekend before we get ready for Valor next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be crazy because I work with a ton of the Valor kids and like really close with them, and I'm coaching in Mount Vista with my son, and I am so looking forward to that high school football game. I don't know what to do with myself. Next week's a bye week for the Buffs, so we'll be breaking down tomorrow with Steve Atwater live here at the lab right out there. Steve Atwater will be talking NFL. Steve Atwater will be talking college football. Steve Atwater talks, I listen. And then Friday, the hype man, Lawrence Bickers from Orlando, because I'm not going because I ain't dodging hurricanes and shit, and I hate flying. So I'm going to keep my fat ass home. And Vic will be on Friday to talk shop and have some fun and get everybody ready for hopefully a huge win on the road, coming back 4-1, and then we deserve to be ranked, and then we can talk about bye weeks and get all the prime sexuals will get you ready for an old school Big 8, Big 12 slobber knocker fucking rivalry. An old Big 12 North play each other every year for 110 years straight, Colorado versus Kansas State.
Yep.
All right, I played in this rivalry 5 times. It was my last home game. We beat them 38-31 on that pass from Clap to Monte. Show that bitch one more time because that's so sexy. Just show it. I know you got it on fucking lock. Show it.
Let me grab it. Give me 30 seconds here.
Kansas State is a good football team. I know they didn't play well at BYU, but Klieman has them rolling. They're always competitive. They're always tough as fuck. And I can't wait to get that rivalry started back up with the guys from Manhattan. I know their main rival's Kansas, but goddamn it, there's no love lost between the people in Boulder and Manhattan, Kansas. So I'm excited to go there next year. I really, really cannot wait for the Kansas State-Colorado game in 3 weeks.
It's going to be great.
Quack to Monte to beat that ass on senior day. God, that was a good fucking time. That was a great day.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have a lot more to say than that, but I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to shut the fuck up now, and you guys all have a good day.
And great show. We'll be right back here tomorrow with Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Great show. We're going to break down everything from Colorado, Denver Broncos, and much more. Thank you all for tuning in. We will guys see you tomorrow, Thursday.